This is episode 496 of the OotiniCast. Sorry, 400. And let's see, this is the raw version of the show, which goes out with all flubs and flaws intact. We do this live on twitch.tv/OotiniCast. The raw version of the show, once we're done, will go up on YouTube, and then the audio will be cleaned up as needed. It will be a little less raw, and we will then put that out as a podcast tomorrow. And let me see if I can get this posted so we can let folks know that we're live. Let's see. .tv. Okay. And let's see if it goes. It just... I don't know why.
Gotta hit it a couple times.
It's not. I did. It's not going. All right, we're redoing this the old-fashioned way, or what's the new-fashioned way, or whatever it is. All right. I have to do this. I don't know why the X thing is bugging.
It knows. I told you. It knows. Elon knows you're talking shit.
All right, I'm reposting it and
on Brandon.
Yeah, but it's all. I also reposted it, so you can get it either way now.
Cool.
All right, and other than that, let me close this and we'll get going. Also, I'm gonna have to buy another mouse. I had the mouse I used for years. Really good one. It's one of those high quality Microsoft mice, IntelliMouse Pro, I think it was called, but I couldn't find one. So when that one started to go bad, I had bought a different one. This one's a HyperX, and I like certain things about it, but the mouse scroll wheel is completely borked. It really sucks.
Yeah. Once it starts going too, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, and it's only like a month old. I've only had this.
Oh, no way.
Like a few weeks.
I thought you had that for a long time.
Yeah, no, well, I bought it a while ago, and then I finally, like, my Microsoft mouse was just getting kind of worse and worse, and I finally swapped it out. But I had bought it, and then I had it just in the box for a little while, and I actually bought it not too long ago. And then, yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm going to have to buy a new one, I guess, which kind of sucks, because, I mean, this one was not the cheapest one on the market or anything.
Yeah, they finally came out with a left-handed Naga. They're $100 a pop.
Wow.
And yeah. I had not been able to get my hands on any good MMO mouse for forever. Right. And so I ended up buying two. I still have the same one. It's old.
Yeah.
Still kicking.
I might have to look around and see if there's still a Microsoft IntelliMouse Pro out there somewhere, but anyway, I will figure that out some other time. Are you about ready, Kitty?
No, we got to hash through this mouse business right now. Chill.
Damn it.
Careful.
I know, I won't, not as bad as the other time. Careful. Although if it went up, it would be bad, because this is not water. This is diet soda.
Vodka.
Well, it's diet soda. Something I've been doing, though, is we bought cinnamon oil, and we put cinnamon oil. I put cinnamon oil in it. It's actually quite good that way.
Huh.
Yeah, so it tastes a little bit like Red Hot candies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, what is that? Fireball.
Or Fireball. Yeah, or Fireball whiskey. If you're into the Fireball whiskey, it's pretty much the same flavor. So yeah, if you can just buy cinnamon oil. It's on Amazon or wherever. I'm sure it's a lot of places. And you just a very small amount,
oh, you don't need a lot. Yeah.
Just a few drops is all you're gonna need, and it completely changes the taste of the cola. I also tried it with Dr. Pepper, and it tastes good in that too. Makes me actually think that one of the flavors in Dr. Pepper might actually be cinnamon oil, just a very small amount of it.
Yeah, it could be, because
they don't make it public, so I wasn't able to actually confirm that. So anyway, are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Okay. Going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that is altering the deal. Pray we don't alter it any further. R.I.P. Yeah, this is episode 496, being recorded on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. I'm your host, Chill, and with me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hello, Chill.
Hey, and you were ill last time, so what you been up to since the last time we saw you?
So much. Well, the big thing that I did was I dismantled my desk, my 2 streaming machines. When I'm streaming, I have a game machine, and then I have a machine that's just for streaming. So
yes, and you've had that for quite a while now. Like, you didn't start that way, but you've ran that way for years now. Yeah.
And it's a little complicated. It's not too bad, but I decided that I needed to pull the desk back away from the vaulted ceiling so that I can push my monitor back a little bit more. And I couldn't move it without taking stuff off of the desk. And I thought, well, screw it. I'll just take a day and just redo the whole thing. Do all the cable management. Clean all the computers out.
Like blow the dust out and stuff?
Yeah, blow the dust out. And I reset the tabletops. So just to make it a little bit neater for myself. And drilled some new holes in for cables and got the, what do they call it? Get like little dealios.
I have seen stuff like that.
Screw them in there and then you have a nice, it looks very professional.
Yeah, and it's also like not scraping against a raw wood corner or anything like that. It's nicer.
It has
on the
an
cables.
insert that you can put in there.
Yeah.
I drilled several of those in so that my desktop wouldn't have a bunch of cables going across and stuff like that.
Nice.
Went and redid all the cables underneath. There was so much done. It took me 2 days and about 16 hours.
That really is 2 days then, yeah.
Because there's so many cables, there's so many like things, and it was quite the ordeal, but it was now that it's done, I'm like, yes, okay, it's set up. And now I'm doing like little tweaks here and there, like I'm going, okay, wait, that cable needs to be changed out for another cable because it's not long enough and it's going across, and I've got all kinds of like this crap, that you wrap the cables in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like just really trying to make it look nice, and it looks great.
That is great. That would take hours and hours. That's great. Yeah. And for those playing at home, Kitty, you have quite the setup. I mean, even before you did this, like you had the 2 computers, but you've also got multiple webcams. You've got multiple mic potentials. So you've got a lot of cabling and a lot of things to deal with. So lighting, this was no small task.
It was, like I said, it took 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I was working. I was, really getting it done. What's funny is I found cables that were back there that didn't even need to be there.
Oh, interesting.
Because when I started the whole streaming thing, I just jumped in. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know what a RAID was when I first started. I just went for it. And so as things happen, I would add them. And then, years went by. We moved over to this side of the room so that Kitty Treats could have her spot over here so we could play next to each other and have the cameras all set up like, so that we can stream together. And we've gone through different kinds of capture cards and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And with 2 people and 3 computers all together, that is a lot of wires.
Yes.
And so as we've switched to things like internal capture cards instead of external capture cards, I realized that I'd never took the cables out. So there's all kinds of cables back there that I'm like, holy crap, I'm like pulling it going, where does this go?
Right.
It doesn't go anywhere. But it's a lot nicer now. It's also, pulling that stuff apart and, cleaning stuff out and getting underneath things and adding, holes to the table and adding new power strips and putting them in these, like I got these boxes right here that you can put stuff in, and the wires go through here. So this is like, I call it a cable coffin because it's just a bunch of just squiggly lines like a rat's nest. This one doesn't have anything in it, but
right.
And then you just go, it's gone.
Right, but
So I've got all that kind of stuff going on, and just there's a couple other little things I want to do, and I had to order stuff for it. So that's almost done. It looks so much better. It's way more comfortable, and doing something again kind of solidifies where things are.
Okay.
And so when things break while I'm streaming, I can just go boop and fix it. So the next event is going to be over in Kitty's office.
Oh,
it's oh my God, it is messed up. That cable, it looks it's just insane. And I look at it, I'm like, because I do all her cable management on her side too.
Right.
And
in this room, but not for her office.
Not in that room, no.
Right.
But I got to get in there now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a bunch of, these things left over. So
right. And I imagine, on anything that complicated, it's going to, it can have benefits, like, the computer is cleaned out, so they're running cooler and stuff like that. You might have, if her cables are really bad, some might be pulling on cables and causing things to tweak or potentially tweak anyway. So that would be good.
It's going to be the task, but I'll have to do it on a weekend because it's going to take a long time.
Right.
Not as much as this did, because I was drilling holes with.
How many computers does she run in there?
She has, I think she has 3.
Oh wow!
In there, because she has her work computer, her gaming computer, and then her laptop. And I think she has 2 one or 2 monitors, but
right.
But it looks like she has like NASA from 1968, how the computers just had like all kinds of wires that would be in their own room because just like, but I'm looking forward to getting in there one of these days.
Nice.
And I documented it. So every time I made some sort of progression, I made like a 1-minute video. I put it in the KittyKissz Discord if you're interested at all. I played it for stream, and there, people kind of like to watch that stuff every once in a while, and yes. But if you need help anytime, there, chill. You need cable management. Just let me know. I'll come over.
I appreciate it. My setup's relative. I'm pretty straightforward, and I was able to keep things as good as I really need them anyway. Once I did the move back in, this was like in May and June we were moving.
Right.
And I'm doing fine. Actually, one thing I'm wanting to do, and you can probably hear it actually, is that more than the other rooms I've had, either my original house or in the house we were renting for the last couple of years, this place, there's a couple little side walls and there's a lot of echo. I didn't really have that problem. I mean, because I didn't actually put up proper, batting or anything to dull the sound. I mean, there probably was a little bit of echo at the other places, but I'm really noticing it here, and it's kind of bothering me. So I'm going to have to figure out, if maybe just putting up a couple of simple paintings will be enough, or if I actually need to put up some, some sort of actual thing. But I'm noticing that I'm echoing a bit, and it's starting to bother me.
Drives you crazy,
so
doesn't it?
I'm going to need to figure out something for it. What that ends up being, I'm not sure yet. So we'll have to see.
Get some carpets and put them on the walls.
Yeah, that's the problem though. Is because we are renting. It's like I can't.
That's right.
I can't just Yeah, there's a kind of limit as to what I'm sort of allowed to do, so to speak. But I'll figure out something, I'm sure. And actually, I haven't actually put up, I usually like to have a couple of things like paintings in the background, because I have that one SWTOR poster and stuff like that framed, and it looks nice to put it in the background, and I haven't done that yet here, and I really should. It's been a few months now, so I really should.
It doesn't sound bad, though.
Thanks. I'm glad. Yeah, it's still the same nice mic. I've been really happy with this mic. It's the same mic I've used the whole time.
You've had that thing for a decade.
Since the beginning. So it's like 13 years or whatever. I got it for the OotiniCast originally. Before that, I was just using, I was on raids and stuff, but I was just using headphone mics and stuff for that.
Right.
I didn't bother to have a good mic for that. But yeah, anyway, it's been a good mic for me.
That's the thing about good mics. They last forever.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Yep.
You buy a good microphone, unless you got like an old ribbon microphone, then you gotta be careful with them. But yeah, a good microphone will last you forever if you take care of it.
That's right.
Yeah. In SWTOR, I have been playing my character Captain Karen McBusybody. I'm playing her as a Karen.
Okay.
So if there's an option to tattletale, I'm tattling.
Or to see the manager.
If there's an argument, I'm arguing.
Does she have like that?
Yes, she does.
Hairstyle with in sort of like faux blonde.
The cliff on the back or whatever, the wedge thing. Mm-hmm. Yep, she's got that.
That's a funny idea.
Yeah, I love that. And it's pretty funny because sometimes, like I have the saying, it's Captain Karen McBusybody makes your business her business. So, that's like the mantra I have for it when we're running through. Like, what are you guys doing in here? Well, your business is now my business. It's pretty fun though. Like, it's funny. People in chat like it. Everybody's like, "Oh no!"
And what class is it again?
She's a smuggler.
Smuggler.
So
okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the Dirty Fighter, and on the other side, I'm doing the stealth one, the AOE stealth. I forgot which one that is, but and I suck at both of them, but which makes it really fun because I think that smuggler is probably the class that I played the least. So I have no idea what the icons look like.
Oh, okay.
I know they're mirrored for other classes,
right?
But I have not played the dot spec on sniper or on smuggler ever.
Okay. Wait, are you doing stealth or non-stealth? I thought you said you were doing stealth.
Both.
Oh, you're doing both. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which makes it really confusing because I'll go into the rotation. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm
there
in
are
stealth.
Some differences for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, big differences. Mm-hmm. But I just got to 75, and I've got my tactical on there, and I went online and looked up which would be the best. What's best in slot for
and there's
tacticals and stuff like that.
There's different styles. It kind of depends what you're. That's actually one of the nice things is that it really does. There's not like one tactical and you're done. There's actually there's the one that adds a little bit of an extra dot on your hardcast one that also does some extra damage when you're doing the cull thing.
And there's the splash.
That's like the PV.
One.
That's the operation one. But then there's the dot strip. And on the sniper or smuggler version, long range smuggler version, I actually like the strip on one, especially if I'm doing like solo stuff, because
then you just pop it and do all the damage at once. Yeah,
I've tried it on the short range on the stealth version. I don't like it. I don't like the strip version on that as much.
Right.
It works, but it's a little awkward because you immediately have to redo the dots. And the interesting thing,
exactly.
Yeah, and on the sniper version, when you strip the dot, it puts the gray version up, and then when you cull them, it returns those gray versions back into the full version of the regular dot. So you don't have to redo the dots as long as you have the cull ready, which most of the time you will. It has a cooldown, but it's relatively short. You strip them with the dot improver, and then you cull them, and then it brings the dot back immediately. Plus you're culling them, and it feels really good.
It's really fun. Like I said, I hadn't played Dirty Fighting in a decade. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like it when I played it, but now I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun. It's like mobile, but you also, click down into, your stealth or your scrouch down, crouch, which is really fun. It's got a lot of different things to it that I really like. So I'm looking forward to getting my implants and seeing what that's like. And I've got all kinds of implants. I've got all kinds of tacticals because I get so many characters up to Conquest that I have so many. What's the end game currency? I can't think of it right now. My brain.
Credits?
No. The end game currency where you can buy tacticals with and
Conquest
stuff.
Comms? Or
Conquest
Comms?
Checkpoints.
Okay.
All that stuff. I have so much of it every week that I can't buy enough crap. So when I get to a new class, I have tons of stuff and I don't know how it plays. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and seeing how it plays.
Right.
End game, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Captain Karen McBusybody is she's super fun. She's super fun.
That's funny. And as a stealther or whatever, you can actually sneak around, listen to people, so to speak, and get into people's business.
Oh yeah, you're in there. She's nose to nose or very, very sneaky. But yeah, she's there. Karen's always there. The last thing going on with me is it's mine and Kitty Treats' 4-year anniversary today. And right after we're done with the stream, we're going to make dinner and watch a movie.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Do you know what movie you're going to see? Is it going to be Star Wars related?
No, we're watching, we've been watching How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, that's a great movie.
We're on the third one.
They're all good. That's one of the nice things is that
they're really good.
One of those
they're
trilogies
cute.
that really is like all of them.
And those dragons crack me up, like the chubby ones with the little wings.
Yeah.
With the big butt, like the big.
Like how are they flying?
Yeah, it's just like zero physics, but it doesn't matter because they're so funny looking. I love it.
Especially when sometimes people are riding those kinds.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Or there's 2 people on them and they're like, their wings are all.
And not to spoil anything, but I do appreciate the fact that the characters actually change from movie to movie. They go through different sort of challenges thematically and as well as personally. Excellent series.
It's fun. It's really fun. And then we've been watching this show on Netflix. It's an Australian show. It's from the early 2000s, and it's called Kath and Kim, and it is hilarious. It is completely silly, but it's so funny. It's so good. So Kath and Kim on Netflix. Check it out before it goes away. It's really
and
good.
what is it exactly?
It's I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
It's these 2 women, mother and daughter.
Oh, okay.
And their husbands, and then there's their friends, and the actors play different characters in it.
Okay.
It's really, really funny. And do you ever see Babe? The movie Babe?
You mean the pig one?
Yeah.
Yes.
The wife in that, the farmer's wife, is one of the main characters in that.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't realize how young she is, and that she played an older person in Babe.
She must have then.
She's like in her 20s, and she is awesome. She's so funny.
Wow.
She's so funny. Just the stuff that they wear, the stuff that they say, the way they talk, it's hilarious. So check it out. So we're going to watch that as our kind of dessert. our stories dessert.
Those are both great. Yeah.
And we got I'm baking focaccia pizza tonight, and then for dessert we got cheesecake.
Ooh,
so and then we already had these. I don't know if you've had these before.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh my God, truffle oil and sea salt.
Yep, potato chips. They're so good.
Get out of here. So good. Anyway, that's it for me, Chill. I'll pass on the baton to you.
All right, let's see. We got some folks chatting here away. Darth 30 Seconds here, Immortalized, Jumaraf, Kagas, Shintar Commando, Squishy Twitchy, Stask are all here. There's a few other folks as well. I thought I saw, was Kitty Treats on earlier? I thought she was, but anyway.
She's probably there somewhere.
Yeah. And Jumaraf is asking an interesting question, like, what do you think would bring a nice influx of players back to the game? That's a tough question, obviously, and I'm sure it's one that Broadsword thinks about a lot.
Yeah.
It is hard to know exactly what would work. It's one of those things, like an expansion would help, but as opposed to like because they're doing like regular updates and we are getting more story and stuff like that. But if it was like a full expansion, that would be nice. It has been a while now, and they haven't said no, but it's been a while. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. Obviously, even the best expansion does tend to bring an influx of people, and then a lot of people will tend to go away. So, like, what would actually bring them in permanently? That's harder to say. But some sort of like game mode that really people were really into potentially could do that. Some people were suggesting like different classes and stuff like that. Obviously, different classes is a tough thing in the game because the original class story is so impressive and like took so much work. Like it would be so difficult to do that from the ground up. The only way I see them actually adding a class to the game would probably be one of two ways. One would be like the Dread Knight way from World of Warcraft, where there's sort of an onboarding experience of a few missions, but not the full 1 through 50 experience from all the planets. And then it dumps you out at like level 50, let's say, just like, the Death Knight would sort of dump you out at what was then sort of like the sort of near end of game level, but not quite there. But then you'd have to level up just a bit. Or you'd have to like add the whole class, but it would actually be one of the other class stories. Like you'd do the class story, but you'd have completely different abilities, if that makes sense. Because I've always been a fan of like zookeeper type classes, and there's not a ton of them.
Oh right, yeah.
There's been some in MMOs before. I'm thinking specifically of City of
Star Wars
Villains.
Galaxies had it too.
Yeah, that's right. I did. I never played it, but I did hear that they had it. But I did play City of Heroes, City of Villains, and City of Villains had a mastermind class. And so you'd be a mastermind, and the idea was that most of your abilities are actually controlling these little minions that were all around you. And I always think that's fun. It's a very difficult thing to balance, but it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. So it would be very cool. Because I love, the companions is always really fun, but there's just the one, and then, like they had versions where it was like zombies. They had one where it was like you were like the mob boss, and you had a bunch of flunkies with guns around you. And there was like
the term flunky.
Yeah, and there was like a monster version. There's a couple, maybe even more than that, but those are the ones I kind of remember. I remember making like the zombie version, and I made my character was like I called her a cheerleader zombie or vampire cheerleader. And then she was like the head of all the undead, and it was really fun to do actually. And then whenever you'd attack, your zombies would kind of go after those people as well. So it was really cool. Difficult thing to balance, but a lot of fun. Yeah, the Rancor from egg to full grown combat. That'd be cool. Actually, like Bessie, it would be interesting to see like an animal companion who is sort of like Bessie, where you take sort of a dragon essentially, or Rancor or whatever other cool sort of critter, and you raise them up just like you level Bessie up. And I've been actually I'll get back into what I've been doing. I did touch on Bessie finally. It was a few weeks that I didn't touch on Bessie, and then I finally got some done on her the other like a week ago. I didn't do it this last week, but the week before. So it's coming very slowly, because like I got up to like level 5 where it slows way the hell down, and it's like okay. And I just kind of hit it when I think about it, usually like once a week. And then it's like, that's enough for me. It's pretty slow, but, I'll get there eventually. I did do one of the last couple of Jar Jar Joy rides, and then I did like both of the ones before that one. So, but I wasn't able to do this last one. But yeah, they've been having a lot of fun doing like the Light and Dark event, plus other operations and stuff, which is fun. Got to see... I haven't done Scum and Villainy for a long time, and we did that one. That was really fun to see again.
I like Scum and Villainy,
yeah. really liking that one a lot. In general, when I'm streaming, I'm working on 3 different leveling characters, trying to get them up to high B, and then I'll do PvP. 2 of them on Starforge. I am going to try the one on Satil Shan as well. I tried queuing up for low B, but it just wasn't popping at all.
Me too.
On Satil Shan. It's unfortunate. I actually
4 hours, no pop.
4 hours, yeah. For me, it was an hour and a half, but there you go. Same idea. I'm hoping that when I do the high B, there'll be at least some popping going on. There probably will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get him up to. That one's the Michael Dukakis cosplay. So
I can see his haircut every time you say it.
Yeah. It's a perfect one too.
I know exactly. I know his haircut. Yeah.
Like I said, like on the last show, it's like I can't imagine that anyone since 1988 when Saturday Night Live was doing Michael Dukakis cosplay, that anyone has like cosplayed Michael Dukakis since then. Like, who even remembers him? But it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I have Kira dressed up as like a Secret Service agent with a little headpiece. So that's been a lot of fun too. And really enjoying that actually. He's got him I just finished the class story today. So he's like 52, I think. And then we did the end of class story and we did the companion stuff, and then he'll be Ilum after that. And the nice thing about that is like, we see Ilum a lot, but at least the XP is pretty good. So that should go pretty quickly. I do have the XP gear on him as well, because I do want to get him up to 60 sooner rather than later. The Gambit, the Dot Assassin on the Warrior story is level 60 already, and Frank Drebin is also level 60, and he's a merc, but he's an agent story. So that's all been really fun. And then, but I'm hoping that we can do PvP again this week, Kitty, as soon as you like. Really, I'm ready for it.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, so that'll be back to the Guardian skank tanking on Lollipop Chainsaw. And the timing is good because Lollipop Chainsaw is being redone, and it's going to be, I think it's actually being released like tomorrow or something like that. So she'll be sort of back in the zeitgeist again. So it's all good. Cool. And I've been enjoying that. I mean, so the reason I did, I was enjoying the Guardian skank tanking, and so that's why I'm trying Michael Dukakis is a tank as well. Of course,
every time you say Michael Dukakis, it just cracks me up.
I know
it's stupid.
It's such a
dork.
I know, it's so dorky. I'm kind of loving it though. Did you catch the last show? I explained why.
I didn't.
So what was happening was I had thought about because I did Freddie Mercury a while back, and I thought that was fun. And when we were doing the kind of like the end of the nightlife event, and not this year's but last year's, the shades, the special shades. There's not a lot of cosplays you can do with that, but I figured, hey, I could do Elton John with those because he was always wearing crazy sunglasses. That was like his whole thing. Well, part of his whole thing. Part of his whole look was like he almost always wore crazy sunglasses along with whatever other crazy outfit he was wearing. And so I tried to make him, and it's like I could not get close enough. Like it just doesn't look enough like Elton John. I looked at him and he's like, this looks like Michael Dukakis. And so I just darkened his hair, and now he's Michael Dukakis. So there you go.
Yeah, if you were doing Elton John, you need to have the tooth gap.
That would be fun, yeah.
Very important.
But that's hard to do. You can't change that.
Wait, who does he look like? Michael Dukakis.
He looked like Michael Dukakis to me. So it's like, okay, we darkened his hair because at the time he's actually turned into a silver fox, but no one knows that because like no one's paid attention to him since 1988, really. Right. Yeah, and so I had the dark 1988 hair for him, and then and I have him in the frog dog helmet, so he's got the tank helmet on, because that's of course what he's famous for, is doing the little thumbs up, and it completely derailed his campaign, for better or worse. But anyway, so it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to trying PvP tanking on him as well. But also looking forward to doing the Guardian tank with you on Lollipop. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
I just think it'd be funny if, like, you're doing PvP and you kill someone and someone's like, God damn it, Michael Dukakis.
Damn you, Michael Dukakis.
Crazy. Michael Dukakis is invulnerable.
Anyway, all right. So that'll bring us to the tip of the week. And you have a tip for us, Kitty. So what do you got for us?
Okay. This is a kind of a reminder tip, but don't forget that you can hotkey your companions' abilities.
Right.
And I always have the attack button on so that I can be wherever I want. Toggle whatever target, and then just boom, have them go in there. And then also passive. And the reason the passive one comes in handy a lot is because I can, as you know, if you have a companion, the mobs usually go for the companion because they're standing in the middle of probably the worst spot that you can anticipate them being there.
Yeah.
And what you can do is have your companion just stand there for a little while, get the mob all on your companion, and then go into your hidey spot, turn them on passive. Your companion will come back to you and it will bring all the mob over there, and you can AoE them all just like that.
Yep.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I've used it for LOS fights myself, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. It also sometimes helps if you're trying to like lose aggro.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll like chase you for a long time, but then they keep re-aggroing on your companion, and it just takes an extra amount of time. And then sometimes if you put them on passive, it helps either naturally, or sometimes if you're far enough from your companion because you've been running, it'll actually teleport your companion to you.
Yep.
And sometimes that's enough to lose the aggro. So.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you have your companion on tank, you can just send your companion on the other side of the room, run around, get speed all the way through all the other mobs, and the mobs won't attack you. They'll go after your companion that is way far away from them. Right. And then when you get wherever it is you're going, turn them on to passive. They'll teleport to you, and so a lot of times the mobs will unaggro. But yeah, it's great. So don't forget,
good stuff.
Get those hotkeys on those companion abilities.
And you could do it on the other ones, but to me that it becomes a little too much at some point.
Too much. Although if you were, it could be good because to do the passive, the attack, and then
the stun maybe.
The stun and the stun and the I call it the Queequeg. The harpoon are usually all in the same spot.
Okay.
So you could hotkey that because having that harpoon can be pretty good, but mileage may vary.
Your mileage may vary. All right. And if you have a tip, send it to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show for a chance to win a Taunfaun, M8 3R droid, or M2B9 droid, courtesy of Broadsword, and also a 450cc code from Broadsword as well. All right. And that'll bring us to the Mind Trap. Let me reset that a little bit. And sometimes we just have ones that are strictly for fun. This is one of those. Which class story companion is the most clever? For the next show, repost and preferred alternatives appreciated. Actually, a lot of people didn't really bother with the preferred alternatives, which I kind of was surprised by because there's some other very clever companions. But the ones we put on the list were Galt Renault, Mako, Theron Cedrex, and Dr. Loken. And I voted for Galt Renault. What about you, Kitty?
I was Dr. Loken.
Nice.
Because I always think about his residence and how he has it all just booby trapped and stuff.
Yes.
And I always thought that was pretty clever because he's never
residences across the galaxy. Apparently,
it's so cool. Yeah. And he's a doctor, and he's got to be on top of his game. So I thought,
exactly. Those were all good. And we were thinking of some other companions we could have put on the list, such as Vet. But Vet's very, top of mind right now for people because they're, the date night just came out for Vet. And also she comes back at the same time as Galt Renault in the Profit and Plunder. So we just went with Galt on that one. I was also thinking Scorpio would be an excellent one. I mean, she is able to sort of manipulate the whole galaxy. That's not really during the class story, but she does eventually, and she's clearly intelligent as well. Anyway, so Galt did win with 29.6% of the vote. And then second was Mako with 28.1. This is one of the closest, first to last in the whole that we've ever done. Dr. Loken at 23% and Theron Sidrax at 19.3%. So only a 10.3% difference between number 1 and number 4. That's almost unheard of. We've almost never had one that's this close. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. And the people who were responding weren't usually saying, hey, what about Scorpio? Or, hey, what about, Vet or anyone else? They just said, Galt. There's like 7 people. And everyone who replied was like, yes, definitely Galt. So apparently people really, he did win, not by much.
He is clever.
But yeah, and that is sort of his shtick too. It's like. Yeah,
the hollowed out horn. That's pretty clever.
The hollowed out horn. That's right. And, all constantly scheming. So.
Now that I think about it, maybe Galt Renault would be my pick if I had to do it over.
That's all good.
I forgot about the hollowed out horn. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that bit with the Lady of Pain and all that.
Yeah.
And that's Asajj Ventress's voice actor who does the Lady of Pain. So she's got a great voice. Yeah. All right. So that was really fun, though. That'll bring us to the Holo feed. Not a ton of news right now. One thing that's been happening is the light and dark side tokens are back. You might have had them from years ago during the light and dark event. Also, they for the most part they've been gone since then. There was also the light and dark side stuff that happened as well, but these tokens are now back on, but in a special way, like first of all, by defeating the light and dark side bosses, and also on the Galactic Season itself. And one of the things that happened when they did the 7.5.1b is that they made it so that these light and dark side tokens, which tended to be kind of scattered around your whole account, are now like for the whole, for your whole legacy for one server. So, you can actually you can go to the characters and sort of accumulate them. Like if you have old characters that have them, when you go back onto those characters, we'll add that to the total. Apparently, that seems to be how it's working.
Oh, that's cool.
I did see, it was Val today in Tor. Had a little screenshot, and he actually had more than the 100, because there's the 100 cap, and he had like several hundred. So apparently the cap won't matter in terms of like going and gathering these tokens from old characters. You can apparently go over the cap with those anyway. My hunch, though, is that you wouldn't be able to get any more, though, until you bought it below the 100
That's what
cap.
I understand is, that's right.
So, apparently you can get it, though. So apparently it's okay, though, if you're worried, like, hey, I might have, like, 60 on 3 different characters. Apparently that will be okay. You just go to those characters, and it'll give you the full 180 or whatever. But, you're going to have to make sure that you then spend it down if you do want to get any off of the Seasons track, or if you're going to do anything else like that. So, And the limit is still 100, so.
No, it's 200.
Well, it's 200 for weekly, but it's 100 overall. So you can actually get more in a week than you can actually have in your inventory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, before this happened, I was kind of afraid of losing them. Mm-hmm. And because I have, you and I are both alcoholics, I had several characters that had 100.
Right.
So I went and I spent so much of that stuff. I got some of the outfits I got
there's some mounts.
I got the mounts. Mm-hmm. I got all kinds of stuff. I didn't really like some of it, and I was like, I'll hold off on that. But the armors and the weapons, those are all legacy bound. So remember that when you are dyeing those are great pieces to put your expensive dyes on, because you can use them on multiple characters.
Right.
So let's say you have the black on black, like the shiny new stuff, the shiny new dyes. You plop it on that thing, and it's going to look pretty cool. Right. And then you can use it on multiple characters.
Right. Move it around to different characters. Nice. Yeah. Another tip of the week. Excellent. All right. And then there's some Cartel market editions, some armors inspired by Andor. There's the corporate security outfit.
Look
Which is it's pretty basic, but sometimes those basic outfits are actually what work really well for like making, and especially if you're going to mix and match with new outfits.
Right. Do you know what it reminds me of? It's did you ever have the twin pod cloud car pilot action figure?
No.
It looks like that,
like from Kenner.
Yeah, it looks like that. The just the cutting, or no, wait, no, what is it called? The corporate security one.
Nice. It makes sense though. Yeah. I do sort of remember from the movie what they looked like roughly.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar.
Nice.
I don't remember this the Cunning Admiral. Oh, that's Ahsoka. Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, and the one
that is the Thrawn one.
Right, the Thrawn one is the Cunning Admiral. That's from Ahsoka. It's pretty Thrawn-like too. Like if you were going to make a Thrawn cosplay or whatever, you could definitely use that outfit.
But didn't they have that already?
They have other similar outfits in the game, but I think they went with this one specifically with the sort of hat it is, which is a little specific. Like there's other ones in the game, but they're not quite that style where it kind of peeks up in the front and has the bill and stuff like that. Yeah, and then also the little like the band. It's not quite a bandolier, but it's sort of like a strap that goes all the way over the shoulder, all the way down to the belt. So there's some things that are a little kind of unique to this one. And then also it shows that outfit with the two different dyes. There's two new dyes that are orange and teal, or vice, and one's primary, one's secondary. And then there's both versions where the other one's primary, the other one's secondary. And you show just to show you how it dyes. And yeah, it looks good in game too. Go ahead.
Yeah. That strap is from Safety Patrol.
It does look like I know what you mean.
God, our references are so old.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they even have Safety Patrol anymore? I don't know.
Well, I was thinking it was specifically from actual like
me too.
People out in front of the schools, but yeah.
Yeah, I did that with the flags, and you put the flags out so the kids could cross. Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I assume some places probably still have to do that. I guess it depends on how much. Yeah. Like, if the car culture is completely overtaken your city or only partly overtaken your city, whether it's necessary still.
Yeah, I remember signing up for it because at the end of the year, Safety Patrol got a free trip to Oaks Park. And I was like,
there you go.
I remember there was a telephone booth, and we would call the operator and go, do you know what time it is? And she's like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, thank you. We're on Safety Patrol. We got, and she's like, all right, sweetie.
There's a couple of pistols, including an SIS service pistol. And let's see. And then
a baton.
Right. There's a retractable training saber. There's a different.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I actually really like the SIS service pistol. There's another one that's a little kind of similar, but a little longer. This one, it has sort of a nice snub nose sort of pistol look. A little Walther PPK-ish sort of feel to it, which is nice.
Does it have a holster?
I don't remember.
I can't go back to no holsters.
Sorry, I can't remember that. You like the holsters too much?
Yeah. I've accustomed to the finer things. I can't go back.
Right. I forgot to check the retractable training saber, but I like the picture of it. I haven't seen what it looks like in game though. I forgot to check that one out. And then we already talked about the dyes, and the dyes are not they're not the new specular ones. They're not shiny or anything like that. But they are. They're definitely going to be useful for some people. And the nice thing is that they're actual like bright colors, but that they also like complement well because they're on opposite sides of the color wheel. It's kind of the same. It's the same reason that like a lot of movies have, and movie posters especially have like that sort of tealish blue and sort of orangey red sort of colors mixed together, is because they contrast well, but they tend to look good together too. And so I'm sure people will find lots of good uses for that. Galactic Season 7 has been extended by 2 weeks. I looked, and this is also the last week of the PvP season. That has not been extended. There's like 5 more days, and then it's going to be done. So I'm already at level 30 on Starforge. You're done with that one as well, Kitty? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm done with that one.
Okay. Yeah. So, and we don't know exactly how long it'll be before the next PvP season, but enough of that. The news was that they extended Galactic Season 7, which is the one we're in, the one involving the bounty hunter event.
That's February.
So and they did say that was because like it was going to end like right after the holidays, and they wanted people who were going to be spending time, away from home and away from the game, therefore, to be able to finish the season, which is cool. Darth 30 Suck is saying the retractable training sabers for the big boss man cosplay. So like a riding crop sort of look. That's funny. I'll have to check that one out.
I didn't even know that those were there. I'm gonna have to give them a look.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, and it would be interesting to hear what that's going to sound like too. That's always, for me, that's always like a big part of, especially like guns and stuff, but sabers as well. Like, what do they sound like when I'm doing?
I immediately think that it's going to sound like the Futurama, the Sith Wars, and Darth Erderer. And when he clicks his lightsaber on, it goes click, 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 click.
Right.
Click, 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 click.
All right. And there's been, they've done the 7.1 point, whatever it is, C now, or B and now C. So they've extended the season a little bit. There's been a few bug fixes and a few little tweaks in regards to like Bessie and some of the new some of the more recent story stuff like that. So a lot of little bug fixes and such like that. It's not really worth going all the way through the patch notes or anything. Some of the date nights had little bugs for certain classes or whatever, and so they figured those out. Some of the people weren't moving their mouths and so on. And yeah. It's always fun. It's always weird when you get into that conversation and for some reason one of them's not moving their mouth. It's like
I always immediately go, "Oh crap! Am I having a flashback?" What's going on?
It always reminds me of like someone doing ventriloquism.
Oh yeah.
All right, and let's see. Was there anything else that we need to worry about here? Right. Keith Koenig did put up a post about DirectX 12. And he said, "You're right. It's been a while since we initially mentioned DirectX 12. Development has taken place for the better part of the year and is still ongoing. We've also added several graphics focused features and made other adjustments in the past year. The metallic, chrome, and pearlescent dyes, new cinematic lighting, and shadows are example of what's included in this initiative, along with some changes in 7.6 that we're excited to share with you soon. With that work completed, the team is getting back to the engine to handle DX12 architecture changes to support object and texture types and a new shader management system. Although we do not have a large announcement to make about DX12 right now, we have been discussing putting an alpha implementation into players' hands sometime before mid-next year. We will share more details closer to when we're ready to begin that testing." So that's interesting.
That's really cool.
As a reminder, DX12 sets a new technology baseline, enabling us to make visual improvements over time. Similar to when we rolled out the 64-bit upgrade, changes will not be super dramatic right out the door. Rather, the tech will provide a solid foundation to build on, and we're pretty excited to see what's possible once it's here. Pretty cool. Yay! So thank you, Keith, for that update. It's amazing how they can actually make these sort of big underlying changes to a game that's been around for so long.
Yeah, people come into chat and they go, "Did they upgrade the visuals on this? It looks different." And I'm like, "Yeah, It looks different." They've been putting a lot of love into it.
They have been,
but,
yeah. I
still
find certain conversations where it's like, "Wow, this looks really cool with the new lighting."
Yeah.
For me, a lot of times it'll be something where you're maybe on your ship or somewhere else where there's like a computer terminal or something else nearby, where it's not just bright and not just nearby, but also very specific, and it'll actually make part of their body really bright compared to like the rest of them. I still dig it. So good stuff.
Yeah, I went to go do the dailies on Hutta and just kind of forgot about the change.
About the changes to Hutta they did?
Yeah. And I just went, "Oh, this looks so cool."
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And this week is a good time to do that, to check in on that, because this is the week for the bounty hunter. The bounty hunter specific for the galactic season is the one on Hutta. So so this is a good time to see the new stuff on Hutta. And we did briefly mention it earlier, but R.I.P. to James Earl Jones. He was 93 years old and died just a day or two ago. And obviously, voice of Darth Vader, and 93, and he did a lot of great work in movies. He was also very much a Broadway and off-Broadway actor as well, which is really cool. Like, in my mind at least, like whenever I hear like that an actor who's known for doing movies but is also like at the same time doing a bunch of theater work, it always like ratchets me up in my mind, like like the kind of quality of actor they
caliber,
are. The caliber and the seriousness which they take acting and stuff like that. Really cool.
He was next level for sure.
Exactly. And like, he wasn't the body of Vader, but he was the voice, and it made all the difference. Because I mean, if you've ever heard the
Proust, Proust did not do a very good job of delivering dialogue.
Exactly. But when you take someone who has the physical features, but then you're able to marry it with a different and more exciting voice, it really makes a difference. So
cool. He scared me twice as a kid. Once as Darth Vader, of course, and then later on as Falsa Doom in Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
And he scared the crap out of me in that movie.
Yes. I was just, with all the creepy snake stuff and everything.
Oh, just the way he looked, his long hair and the garb that he had. And he scared me. Just
Yeah. And Mikey says he was an airborne and Ranger school graduate, which is pretty amazing.
Cool.
That's really cool. I was thinking if I was going to do, because, as I do cosplays, but I almost never do Star Wars ones, because like to me, that's always like, for me, that's like too easy. I always have to do something else. So I was thinking actually maybe I'd do the Conan the Barbarian version of James Earl Jones as a cosplay. I'm trying to think of who else might have been good. Or the King of Zamunda from Coming to America might be fun. There's a few others. I also
Field of Dreams, right?
Yeah.
He was great in that.
As an MST3K fan, I still remember City Limits. Not that I would do that cosplay, but I remember he was in that movie, City Limits, and it was like he was like the only decent thing in that movie. Everything else was total garbage. Anyway,
rest in peace,
stuff. So,
Mr. Jones.
Yep, and he had a 93 years old, so that's really good.
That's a great run. He had a great life too.
Yep, quite a life. So, all right, and anything else, Kitty?
Yes, I would like to say happy anniversary to Kitty Treats, and I love you, babe.
Aw, well, happy anniversary to you.
Yeah, we're gonna get sick eating a bunch of pizza in about half hour.
And watching, so it's How to Train Your Dragon 3, and what was the name of the Australian
Kath
show?
And Kim.
Kath and Kim.
Yeah.
I might have to check that out. That sounded like
Do
fun.
it. It's ridiculous. Just check it out. You'll like it. Let me know what you think too.
All right. That sounds good. That's a show. If you'd like to play with us in the Teeny Knights Guild on the Republic side of the Satil Shan server, or in our
Utini Rage
Guild on the Empire side, do a /C join Utini to join the Utini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to OotiniCast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, X using @OotiniCast, or Mastodon @OotiniCast@mastodon.world. You can find contact details for us on our website, OotiniCast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, streaming at twitch.tv/OotiniCast. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room.
Thank you, chat. We will see you later.
And we'll see you next show. All right.
Magic and comic.
Magic and comic. Is that a channel I should be rating? Yeah. Okay.
I could put a link in chat if you want.
Hang on a sec. I need to get to the stream manager so I can actually raid. And comic.
Yeah, it's all one word.
Okay, I see him. All right. And I'll go ahead and get that ready to go. All right, and thanks for coming. I'm going to go ahead and
Bye, everybody.
Stop the stream.